Do you ever feel like it's hard to save money, let alone $1,000, $5,000, $10,000? I have been there, and that's why in this video, I'm going to talk about why everything changes once you save your $10,000. Because honestly, y'all, like a new life unlocks, like a level of freedom unlocks, and you can start moving around with a little more pep in your step. But I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, girl, I can't even save 100. How you expect me to save 10,000? Don't worry, because at the end of this video, I'm going to highlight a resource that helped me do it, that can help you do it with less time, less effort, and without hella extra jobs. But first, I'm going to tell you why you need to save $10,000 and how it's going to help you elevate your life. So before I get into it, hey girl, hey, my name is Jocelyn, and I'm the founder of Maximize Money, where I teach 9-to-5 earning women how to create their dream lives with their 9-to-5 incomes so that they can do more of what they love without trading their time for it or going deeper into debt for it, baby. So like I mentioned, we're going to talk about why everything changes after you save $10,000. And again, if you stay to this end of this video, I'm going to highlight a resource that I use that you can start using. That's free. That's going to help you save that money much more quicker and reward you for saving. So let's get into it. The number one reason why you should and why everything changes once you save $10,000 is that you'll be able to comfortably and confidently cover emergencies, okay? Now let's talk about emergencies. Emergency can be as small as your battery in your car going out, which recently happened to me, okay? Or something as big as you losing your job, y'all. Like, I have personally dealt with both of those in my life, okay? The car battery was $200. May not seem like a lot, but imagine if you didn't prepare for that and you don't have $200. Then what does that mean? That means you're without a car. That means you got to rely on somebody else to get around. That means you can't get to your necessary destinations, which means that your livelihood is at a standstill. And that's just not what I want for you. Like, it's so important to save, y'all, because emergencies are going to happen. Life is going to life. Just keep living, as my grandmother would say. And you want to make sure that you're covered. Instead of having to get a loan, instead of having to borrow some money from someone, I've had to do that before, and it feels like, and let me know if this is just me, but I feel like people keep it over your head until you pay them back. Like, I just hate the way that feels, you know, whether it's a loan or somebody in your family or a friend. Like, I don't want that for us, okay? So knowing that you are your own bank, amen, i.e. saving the money, setting it aside, it's going to make you feel good about yourself and feel empowered and know that, like, listen, no matter what life throws my way, I'm good. I can cover my emergencies, okay? So that's number one on why everything changes once you save $10,000. The second thing that you want to pay attention to on why everything changes once you save $10,000 is that you can get to your family in a time of need. So this is something that was super important, especially in the panty, y'all. In 2020, 2021, I unfortunately lost two very important people to me. One is a family member. One is essentially a family member as well, a very close friend. And I happened to lose my job right when all this was happening. And I just felt so bad because I just didn't have money to get to them. Like, I couldn't get to where they were. Number one, because of the pandemic. And even though a lot of airlines were still flying, but two, I just didn't have the money. Like, I hadn't been saving the way that I needed to be saving because I was borrowing money from family. Like, I was living on unemployment, and I just felt so bad that I couldn't bury my cousin. You know, like, I couldn't be there for her services. My mom's best friend passed away. I couldn't be there. Like, I was already emotional wreck, and I just felt worse. Like, I just felt worse that I couldn't get to my family in their time of need. And if I had the money set aside, if I had this $10,000, it would have been a no-brainer. You know, I would have threw on 3 or 4 masks and hop on a flight, you know? But I just couldn't, you know? And so I just feel like we don't think that, like, saving is important, but it's those life or death situations that remind you that, like, listen, you want to be there to properly bury the people that mean so much to you. And if you don't have the money to get to them, to help them, then it's like, well, what are you living for? Where's the money going? To happy hour, to brunch, to clothes and shoes and bags. And it's like, none of that stuff matters when somebody's on their deathbed, y'all. Like, and I hate to get morbid, but it's like, now, baby, let something happen to my mother. Let something happen to anybody that I love with my heart. Like, I'm on a flight. No questions asked. because I have the money and I have the points, okay? So like, please y'all, please prioritize your savings. And this is a short plug for my perfect paycheck routine, because a lot of people feel like they can't save or they don't have no money left to save. And I'm gonna tell you, baby, you likely do. But let me tell you what you might be doing. And I want you to comment below and let me know if I'm on point with this. You get your check, you pay your bills, you go to a little happy hour, you've already bought some stuff before the paycheck even hits your account, you gave a little something to your kids, and then you say, oh, okay, let me save. Now you ain't got no money to save. No, what you need to be doing is following a routine, y'all. I have a perfect paycheck routine, which is my 6-step process that'll walk you through like how to make your paycheck work for you. So yes, we're gonna be paying our bills. Yes, we're gonna be paying down debt, but we're gonna be saving. We're gonna be making room for enjoyment, because I'm never gonna tell you to live a life of restriction. I still want you to do the happy hours, get your cute wigs, do all the things, okay? But sometimes you're gonna have to do your own hair. You see, I did my own hair. Sometimes you're gonna have to prioritize the investing, you know, but just know that those things are gonna pay you in the future. And also that ultimately, like, you have the money to do all these things with your check. It's just about prioritizing them based on what the priorities are in your life. And so I've put everything that I've learned from working with my clients, child, over these last couple of years into this 6-step routine, because they gave me the same excuses that you likely thinking right now, which is I don't have no money to save. And you do, okay? And I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do in that paycheck routine. It's 6 steps. You're gonna start to do it like clockwork. So it ain't gonna be no, oh, I ain't got no money to save, because you're gonna be saving first. And then you're gonna put your money towards other things that's gonna help you to keep more of your money and invest more of your money and use your money to pay off debt, again, without sacrificing your lifestyle, without sacrificing the things that you love, because that's not what I want. We work hard, we should be playing hard, but our money should be working for us as well. And I'm gonna show you how to do that in the perfect paycheck routine. So that is linked in the description. Go ahead and grab that. The third reason on why everything changes once you save $10,000 is that you are going to be able to live off your savings if anything shifts in your job. So as you all know, if you've been following the news, and I'm sure we all have, is that, you know, whether you work in federal, which is public sector, or private, all of our jobs are essentially at risk, okay? If you work in the private sector, you've likely heard of all these layoffs, you've heard of all this restructuring, you've heard of all of this mumbo jumbo. But now, with this new leadership we got, they asking people to resign. They letting people go, like, who work for the federal government. So essentially, ain't nobody safe. Ain't nobody safe. And as I mentioned, y'all, I have been laid off. I have been laid off before. One time. Hopefully never again, Lord. Please. I was out of work for 8 whole African-American months. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That was one of the lowest points of my life. And that's when I had lost 2 close family members, and I was spiraling. Like, I wasn't on drugs or nothing, but like, I just was not in a good place. I had gained like 40 pounds. Like, I was eating and drinking and smoking like it just wasn't a good situation. And I was like, I will never put my 100% trust in an employer ever again. And that's not to shade my employer, because I am thankful for my job, okay? We still be having layoffs though. Like, I'm not immune from it either. None of us are. We all are one email away from not being able to work, okay? And I said, I'm never. I played before. I was playing with my money. I was taking the trips. I was going to happy hours, doing all the things, and I still do that. However, I'm paying myself first. I paid off $80,000 in student loan debt. I'm investing. Like, I stick to my own paycheck routine. The one that y'all need to be grabbing, I stick to that, because I know what it's like to not have your livelihood, not to have a job. And I never want to feel like an employer is controlling my life ever again. Not saying they're controlling it, but it's like they could let me go and my whole life could stop. I didn't like the way that felt. And that's literally why Maximize Money was built, because other women felt the same. It's like, yeah, like I be stressing out, and yeah, I got laid off, and yeah, I want to pay off my debt. And I tell my story all the time because I want women to feel like they're not alone, and that number one, we need to be using these jobs whether they're using us, okay? Which is why I literally work with 9-to-5 earning women, because we want to use these consistent checks, okay? I'm never going to tell somebody to quit their job unless your mental, you know, is impacted a lot, because all of our mentals are impacted. It's about how much and what we can do to get you another job that ain't going to impact your mental. Or maybe you have a side business, or you have some other lucrative income that's out earning your salary. Besides that, baby, we're going to be using these 9-to-5 checks, and that's what I'm here to help you do. And that's why I created the perfect paycheck routine. So please, ladies, you need to ensure that you can live off your savings if anything happens with your job. And usually $10,000 is enough money for you to live at least, I don't know where you live now. If you live in New York and California, then this might not be for you. You may need to try to save 20. But most other areas outside of the DMV, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia, outside of California, outside of New York, I think everywhere else you could probably make it a solid 3 months with $10,000, and like I mentioned, it took me 8 months to find a new job, and I know people who have been out of work for over a year. So honestly, like 10,000 is the bare minimum. And like I mentioned at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can do that a lot quicker. But like, we can't put our livelihoods in the hands of these employers. And if you are not setting aside money from every single check for whatever life throws you, you are not living right, okay? I'm here to tell you the truth because I love you. You are not living right, okay? Even if you have to start with $50 a month. I have a friend who just texted me and was like, okay, I finally signed up for this high yield savings account. I'm gonna put $50 in there. I say yes. Love to hear it because that's where I started. I started with $50. I didn't start with $1,000, $2,000. Now I'm up there now because again, I have been laid off, so I don't play ghetto games. She hasn't been laid off, so she doesn't feel the way that I felt about being unemployed. But I'm happy she's starting, and I want you to start as well. So that is something that I really want you to prioritize, y'all. Like, please comment below and let me know that you are saving or that you plan to start saving, and let me know how much you're saving so I can give you some encouragement and cheer you on. The fourth way that everything changes once you save $10,000 is that you can start investing without worrying too much about losing money. So the reality of investing is that it is a risk. It's a risk. It's a risk. You get ups and downs. I personally get them. I'm not active, meaning that like I'm a trader, but like I invest my money as well in multiple ways. I have a Roth IRA. I have my 401k and my job. I have a separate brokerage account with my financial advisor. I have my own brokerage account. I have an HSA. Like I talk about all of these, y'all, in my perfect paycheck routine. But I know that I'm never going to be able to make work optional without investing. But I also know that I couldn't have been a confident investor the way that I am now 5 years ago when I was out of a job, when I was paying off my debt, when I was just using the money for other things. And so like, I believe that there is a natural flow on how things should go. I'm always going to educate my clients, to make the best decisions for them. And sometimes you're not ready to invest if you know that you have a lot of debt, if you know that you need to create a consistent savings routine, like if you know that you just need to get a handle on what's happening with your money. And that's literally why I created the perfect paycheck routine, because eventually you're going to get to investing, because the investing is how your money grows without you having to work for it. That's where compounding interest comes into play. That's when dividends, which is when a company pays you for owning their stock, comes into play. But we can't even get to that if we don't have some money saved, y'all. So like for me, I started getting serious about investing in like 2019 because I paid off my debt in 2018, and I was like, okay, boom, I don't want to work, but I have to work because I don't have enough money coming in from these other income streams to fund my lifestyle. So that's when I was like, okay, now that my debt is gone, because once you pay off your debt, baby, it's like you gave yourself a raise. Like I paid off over $80,000 in student loan debt, and now that money that I was taking from my paycheck to pay for this debt is now my money, which I started to put more into my savings, but I also got serious about investing. And so like, I don't even want you to start, invest in your 401k or your 403b if your company has one. Start investing in your Roth. Open a Roth IRA. If you don't know what that is, comment below and I will share a little more details on it. But like, you ain't gonna be able to do much without you having some money saved, because you gonna feel like these knee-jerk reactions like, oh my God, I just lost this and now I lost that. And no, we don't want you to feel that way. We don't even want you to be checking it every day, because ultimately the money should be working for you. That's the point of investing. Think of any millionaire out there. Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, they all have stock in their companies because They understand that, like, one day I'm going to remove myself from this business and I don't want my lifestyle to change. You got to follow the moves of the wealthy folks, y'all. Like, I'm on a track to be a millionaire, okay? Because I have met millionaires in my life. God is good, and they have made me realize that I can make this work. I can do this as well. I don't have to be a hoarder. I don't have to be rude. I don't have to be, disrespectful. Like, I can be humble. I can literally be this regular, schmegular, fine black girl that I am and be a millionaire, and that's the first goal, because I plan on being a multi-millionaire, because I want to live a nice life. So if you're interested in that and you're like, okay, girl, tell me more about this millionaire journey, watch my, what is it called? Becoming a Millionaire series, where I essentially give you different updates each week on my journey towards becoming a millionaire. So I'll talk about the money moves I'm making. I'll talk about the lifestyle moves that I'm making. And I'll talk about the lessons that I've learned on the journey. And it's just been so enjoyable because it's really just raw and real. I don't even edit the videos. I just post them and y'all give me feedback. And I just love it because I want to normalize Black women being millionaires. Black people, period, but especially Black women, because this is a Black women's channel. So I'm always going to go up for Black women, okay? So that's what having that's what $10,000 can help you do, is start investing without worrying about actually losing the money. So if you made it to this point, like I mentioned, I already was like, listen, you probably like, how am I going to save $10,000? I'm struggling to save 100. And that is why I'm here, baby, because I want to talk to you about high yield savings accounts. So a high yield savings account is traditionally a savings account, just like anything you'd find at Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all the things. But they pay you for having the account in the form of an annual percentage yield, which is short for APY, which is essentially interest. So think of, a car note, think of your student loans. If you have to take out or borrow any money, there's often an interest rate attached to it. And that interest is what you pay to borrow the money. Essentially, you have to pay it back plus whatever you borrowed. So if you had $10,000, for your car note and you had a car interest rate of 5.5, then you often are paying that minimum on that $10,000 every month, whatever your minimum payment is, plus the interest, and often we don't recognize that the interest that minimum payment that we're making is going primarily towards the interest and rarely touching the principal. That was something I learned when I was paying off my debt. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just doing nothing, giving this minimum. And I started paying more. But anyway, if you want to learn about that journey, baby, click the link in the description. I have a whole debt series, paying off your debt series. But the difference with this account, with this savings account, is that they pay you that interest because you are now becoming the lender and not the borrower. So as the lender, they're taking your money and they invest in it anyway, which is why I want you to be investing, because that's what these banks are doing. They're lending out your money, but they're paying you a little cut to do that in the form of the interest. So again, it's the opposite. You're the lender, and as the lender, you're getting a cut. You're getting this interest for letting them hold your money in this account. That's FDI insured, which means that it's government backed. Like, it ain't gonna be no shady business with your money, and if it is, then they are liable to get it back. Now, I've had high yield savings accounts since 2020? Was it 2020? Maybe 2019. I don't know, child. I had it for a long time. And my money has never been lost, And so I love that because at the time of this video, I am getting 4.25% on my money, which means that every month they are paying me 4.25% on whatever balance that I have in my account. And so I use two high yield savings accounts. One for my emergency savings, again, for any kind of emergencies like my car battery or something going on in the house or losing a job. It could be anything, baby. Or it could be, my other one, which is for my traveling. So I love to travel, and as you all know, that was how I got into debt. Like outside of the student loans, I had credit card debt, I had my car note, like I had a lot of stuff going on, and I was like, okay, these trips aren't worth going into debt for. So like, if I'm saving for everything else, I should be saving for these trips. So granted, I don't have to pay for any of my flights. A lot of my stuff is free because I utilize points and miles. I talk about that on my Luxury Living on a 9 to 5 Budget Masterclass, which is also linked in the description. But I need money to enjoy the trip as well. So that's what the savings is for. And so essentially, it's free to start. It's like any other savings account is not an investment, and it allows your money to grow without you having to trade your time for it. So just like you're paying bills, you want to put that money aside in your high yield savings account. I pay myself first. You should be paying yourself first, i.e. saving first, as soon as you get your paycheck, so that money is growing, because the bigger your balance is, the more this company, the high yield savings account is going to pay you for whatever balance is in there. So if you have $50,000 in there, baby, and they're paying you 4% of that, then you're going to be getting about $200 every single month just for leaving that balance in there. So I love these. I love high yield savings account. I have put all my girls on, my clients, every single one of them have it now. Like, it's just an easy win. It's an easy way for your money to grow and to be incentivized to save. So like, if you get serious about putting 200, 300, 400, like just keep increasing it as you get more money, like you're gonna hit 10K real quick. It's gonna take diligence. It's not gonna happen overnight. But as you see that balance growing without you doing nothing but saving, as we all should do, you're going to be encouraged to keep doing it. And you're going to start walking around your job with a little confidence. Like, I ain't got to be here. Granted, you do need to be there. Don't just quit your job because you got $10,000, y'all. But you're going to feel better, and it's going to encourage you to keep keep saving. And then at some point, you're going to be like, okay, I'm ready to start investing outside of my job. Or I want to start putting more money to my 401k, my Roth. Like, all of it starts to you just start feeling more empowered. And that's what I want. Like, I want women to feel empowered to make money moves, to make money decisions, and know what they're doing, because a lot of times you'll just watch what other people are doing, and that's not what I want you to do. That's why I give you encouragement, but I also encourage you to do your own research. So that is all of the reasons on why everything changes once you save $10,000. And I hope that this encourages you, y'all. If you have any questions, please comment below. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video, y'all, this channel. I'm trying to grow it. Like, I'm big on financial independence for women. I don't care if you're married, single, divorced, coupled. It don't matter. Women need to feel empowered to make their own decisions. And it starts with saving. And once you hit that 10K, a whole new world opens up for you, and you can really start using your money for bigger and better things, and ultimately making work optional. We don't want to be working till we 60, 70, 80. Like, who does that? No, we don't want that. So we're going to be strategic, we're going to be smart, and we're going to be empowered as we make these informed financial decisions. So thank you so much for watching. Again, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.